Welcome to Speak English for You.
Hello and welcome back to Speak English for You. I'm your host. Today we are doing a deep dive into something that, well, I think pretty much all of us do on a daily basis. We are talking about the bizarre universal habit of over-apologizing.
Oh, it is incredibly common.
Right. And our mission today is to really unpack why we apologize for merely existing and then explore a simple, honestly kind of magical linguistic trick that can completely change how we view ourselves and our interactions with others. But first, let me ask you this. Have you ever bumped into a chair, maybe you're rushing through a crowded room, or just navigating your own house in the dark, and before you even process what happened, you actually say sorry to it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it is a profoundly weird human experience when you really pause to think about it. You are, quite literally, seeking forgiveness from furniture. You're treating a collection of wood and fabric as if it has this rich emotional inner life that you've just offended.
Exactly. Okay, let's unpack this. Because the chair apology isn't just some weird anomaly. It is like the tip of a massive psychological iceberg. We say sorry for things that objectively do not require apologies all day long.
Oh, constantly.
Like you take 10 extra seconds to figure out your order at the coffee shop and you blurt out, sorry. Or you raise your hand to ask a question in a class and you preface it with, sorry, but. Or you're just standing in an aisle at the grocery store, someone needs to walk past you, you are in their way for maybe 2 seconds, and out comes the reflex, sorry.
Right, which is entirely irrational if we look at the pure facts of those situations. I mean, the coffee shop worker's not rushing you. They're literally just standing there doing their job.
Yeah, they're fine.
Exactly. And the teacher is usually genuinely happy you asked a question.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the whole point of a collaborative environment, right? You're engaging.
Yeah.
But that reflex just bypasses our logical brain entirely. We throw a sorry into the air as if we have committed a profound offense just by, participating in the world.
It feels exactly like a physical reflex. You know when you go to the doctor and they take that little rubber hammer and tap you right below the kneecap?
Oh, yeah.
Your leg just kicks out before your brain even registers the tap. That is exactly what this verbal sorry feels like. It just slips out. But I have to ask, is this just us being excessively polite? Or is this actually a symptom of a deeper insecurity?
Well, that distinction between politeness and self-diminishment is really the core of the issue. Politeness is certainly the costume this behavior wears. But the psychology underneath is much more telling. First of all, we have to look at the demographics here.
Right. Who is doing it the most?
Exactly. While everyone exhibits this behavior to some degree, sociological studies consistently show that women do this significantly more than men. It's a documented reality of how different groups are socialized. Society often conditions women to take up less space, physically and audibly.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And so the constant apology becomes this linguistic tool to ensure they aren't perceived as aggressive or demanding.
Right. And the scope of what we are apologizing for goes way beyond just physical space. We aren't just saying sorry for bumping elbows. We apologize for our very opinions. You hear it constantly, like, sorry, but I think we should try a different approach.
Yeah. Why apologize for having an idea?
Exactly. We apologize for our feelings like, sorry, I am just feeling sad today. And we apologize for our most basic human needs. Sorry, could you please help me? And honestly, none of those actions are actually wrong, yet the apology makes it sound like they are.
When you lay it out like that, it really highlights the cognitive dissonance we're living with. None of those actions, having an opinion, feeling an emotion, needing help, they are not transgressions. They are baseline requirements for being a functioning human.
Right.
Yet by attaching the word sorry as a prefix, we inherently frame our internal state as a burden to the rest of the world.
So if we know logically that having needs isn't an offense, where did we learn that it is? Why are we treating our own existence like something we have to constantly atone for?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, it almost always traces back to a fundamental drive for safety. The word sorry in these contexts is fundamentally used to keep the peace. It's not remorse. It is a verbal white flag.
Oh, a white flag. That makes so much sense. You are essentially surrendering before the other person even realizes there's a battle.
Precisely.
Yeah.
You are signaling to the other person's nervous system, I am not a threat, please do not be angry at me. And if we look at behavioral psychology, this is deeply ingrained childhood conditioning.
Like learning to read the room as a kid.
Yes. We learn early on, especially in environments where adults were stressed or unpredictable, that making ourselves small, quiet, and apologetic is a highly effective strategy to stay out of trouble.
So if a parent is stressed, the safest thing a child can do is de-escalate. The kid says sorry for making noise, the parent's irritation drops, and the child's brain registers a win.
Exactly. The brain maps sorry directly to survival. It's a neurological habit loop. But the fascinating and honestly frustrating paradox here is that we carry this childhood survival strategy into adulthood.
We keep doing it even when absolutely no one is angry.
Right. No one expects an apology. We are reacting to a threat that simply isn't there anymore. You're preemptively apologizing to a barista who just wants to know your order because your subconscious still thinks an authority figure will be mad at you if you take up too much time.
We are basically walking around appeasing ghosts. But if there is no actual threat, what is the harm in throwing around a harmless sorry?
Appeasing ghosts is the perfect way to phrase it. And the harm is the severe psychological toll it takes on you.
I was thinking about this, and the best way I can conceptualize it is that over-apologizing operates like an existence tax.
An existence tax.
Yeah. It's like every time you walk into a room or speak up or ask for a moment of someone's time, you feel obligated to pull out a little coin of your own self-worth and hand it over just to be granted permission to be there. And if you keep paying it, you eventually bankrupt your own self-worth.
That is a brilliant framework. It highlights the compounding nature of the damage. The core problem highlighted in the source is that when you apologize too much, you actively shrink yourself. You are internalizing the burden.
Because our brain is always listening to what our mouth is saying.
Yes, neuroplasticity. By constantly saying sorry, you send a repetitive negative message straight to your own brain. You start telling yourself that your needs are a burden. Every time you say sorry to bother you, you reinforce the idea that your voice is annoying.
And that your mere presence is too much.
Exactly. And the tragic result is that after years of saying sorry for nothing, you actually start to believe these negative self-assessments.
That is so sad. Okay, so we have to draw a hard line here. Now that we see the damage of this fake apology, we need to redefine what actually deserves an apology so we can stop shrinking ourselves.
The delineation is actually incredibly straightforward.
Right, because there are things you should absolutely never apologize for. Taking up space, having an opinion, asking for help. The source makes such a powerful point here. These actions aren't rude. They're simply human.
Precisely. You exist in a physical form. You are entitled to occupy a chair. You have a brain. You're allowed to share a perspective. None of these constitute a transgression.
So what is the true apology? When should we actually be using it?
Apologies must be saved for when you cause actual harm. Making a real mistake at work, breaking something that belongs to someone else, or saying something genuinely unkind to your partner. Those moments deserve the full weight of the word sorry.
I love that because saving sorry for those specific moments of real harm actually makes the word more meaningful, rather than diluting it through overuse. If you apologize to the chair and the barista and for coughing, what does your apology even mean when you actually hurt someone?
Exactly. You restore the integrity of your own apologies. But of course, if we strip away the word sorry from our daily vocabulary in all these harmless situations, there's going to be a behavioral void.
Right. We still want to be polite. We don't want to just walk silently past people we bump into. So what do we say instead? The source material gives us this incredible practical replacement.
Yes, the linguistic swap.
Exactly. We swap sorry for thank you. For example, instead of saying sorry for the wait, you say thank you for waiting. Instead of sorry for asking, you say thank you for helping me. And instead of sorry for talking too much, you say thank you for listening.
What's fascinating here is the psychological difference between the two phrases. Sorry fundamentally makes you small. It focuses on your flaw, your slowness, your inadequacy.
While thank you focuses on the other person.
Precisely. Thank you makes you grateful. It centers their patience and their generosity. Both are polite, but thank you doesn't require you to shrink yourself to lift the other person up.
But let me explore the power dynamic here for a second. Let's say I am 20 minutes late to a critical meeting. If I walk in and just say, thanks for waiting, everyone, I feel like I'm going to come across as completely unaccountable.
That is a crucial distinction. The thank you swap is not a pass for actual negligence. Remember, our rule true apologies are for actual harm. If you are 20 minutes late, you have likely caused real disruption. In that scenario, accountability is required.
So I would still apologize for that.
Yes, you might say, I apologize for being late. My time management was poor today. But I also want to thank you for your patience. You take ownership. But for a 3-minute delay at the coffee shop, that is where thank you for waiting is the perfect response.
That makes total sense. By saying thank you, you stop painting yourself as a burden or an inconvenience, like with thank you for helping me. When you say sorry to bother you, you are unconsciously forcing the other person into emotional labor.
Exactly. They have to reassure you. They have to say, oh, no, you're not a bother at all.
Yes, you make it their job to manage your insecurity. But if you just say, thank you for helping me, they get to accept the compliment. You actively acknowledge and validate their generosity. It is such a beautiful shift.
It truly is. It transforms a moment of self-criticism into a moment of genuine human connection.
Well, this has been so eye-opening. Let's quickly summarize the journey we've been on today. We've gone from apologizing to furniture to understanding how our childhood desire for safety has tricked us into making ourselves small.
Right, and we looked at how to reclaim our space by shifting from guilt to gratitude.
Yes. So we have a very specific two-part piece of actionable homework for you based directly on the source.
Part one is simple. Today, just notice every time you say sorry for nothing. Do not judge yourself. Do not try to fix it. Just observe the reflex.
Get a baseline of your existence tax. And part two.
Tomorrow, try replacing just one sorry with a thank you, just one instance, and see how it physically and mentally feels.
I genuinely hope you try this. Because once you feel that shift, it is incredible. So I want to leave you with a final provocative thought to mull over. If we have spent our whole lives using the word sorry to make ourselves smaller and less threatening to others, what amazing, unexpected things might happen in our lives when we finally decide we are allowed to take up our full amount of space. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
Until then, keep speaking English for you.